good morning. It's 7:04 on this Wednesday, October 20th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody. It is a Wednesday. We welcome you to the Hump Day edition of Coleman and Company. Bob McDonald is with us this morning. Robert L. Bob McDonald, President, Chief Executive Officer of Cedarstone Bank. Good morning.
Coleman, good morning. Great to be with you. Great to see you again.
Well, let me see. Here we go. It's great. It's great to see you again as well.
Okay, am I on now? Okay.
Well, you've been on. You were on too loud, and I turned you down.
Oh, okay. Well, it's great to see you. All of your guest hosts did a great job. I had Judge Tatum. I had David. I think those are two I had. They always do a great job.
Well, I have some great friends who guest host. One of whom is sitting with us this morning.
I know.
We'll get to shortly.
Yeah, I was going to talk about him during my few minutes. So, well, that's good.
I always try to remember to say Cedarstone Bank of Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson, simple banking, simply better. That's kind of been your slogan all these years.
Yes, sir. It is. It's been, Coleman, we were 17 and a half years old in April of this year. So we're going on 18 years of serving the community, and that's a long time.
You've been a man at the top all that time?
I have been a man who works there. Don't know about the top. There's so many people who make it happen, Coleman. We had our monthly board meeting yesterday, and we were just kind of reviewing where we've the year so far, through September, and what we expect to happen for the final quarter, and then we start doing our strategic planning for the next year at this time. So we've had a very good year this year, and we're optimistic about as we plan for 2022.
Well, it's always good to have a good year, and it's always nice to be able to talk about that.
It is. It does help. It makes life a lot more fun, no doubt. But we're doing really well, and can't do it without great people. I was talking to one of our employees earlier in the week, and I told her, I said, we can't have a great bank if we don't have great people. And we do have great people, and we're very thankful for them, and that's what distinguishes any company, Coleman, and you know that. We love our buildings. We think they're beautiful. We love our locations. And we love our technology that allows us to serve in any way, but it's the people that make it happen, who make it happen, and I'm just proud of every one of them.
Well, by the way, let me put in a little bit of plug. It'll be sort of a two-way thing. It is for you, but it's also for the Lebanon Lions Club pecans, and you are selling them.
Yeah, we are. Thanks
in the Lebanon office.
Yeah, I saw you come in last week with a box, and I hope to see you come in often with two boxes. So we enjoy being a part of that. Thank you for letting us participate.
Well, thank you for selling them.
Well, it's a pleasure, and we're delighted. And
but you have good employees who sell the pecans.
They love it. Yeah, Brenda especially. Brenda loves selling those pecans. I want to talk about community events. There's a lot of them going on, and we're pleased to be involved in so many of them. But first, at Cumberland University, you've had them on a lot with Rusty, but we had that kickoff on October 1st where we unveiled the statue of Cordell Hull, and that was a terrific event. President Stum and his team did a great job of that, and they have a month of events that has that peace theme to it that Cordell Hull was so responsible for. And so that's still going on the beautiful campus of Cumberland University. I encourage your listeners to be on the lookout for those activities coming up. And then this Saturday evening in Donaldson at the Two Rivers Mansion, there's a dinner that has been going on for a number of years. It's a fundraising dinner. Robert McDonald, who heads up our Nashville operation, serves on that board of directors for the Two Rivers Mansion. He's in charge of this dinner, and it's always a great success. And the funds are used to continue the operation and the renovation of that beautiful mansion. The mansion is just gorgeous. And there's a gentleman who comes each year. His name is William Blunden. He lives in New York and Florida. And he is a direct descendant of the McGavics. who built that mansion back in the mid-1800s. And so he comes back each year, celebrates the mansion. He's a great supporter of the mansion throughout the year. Just a great gentleman. He brings a big group of his friends from Florida with him. But he's a direct descendant, and he tells stories of being a child, climbing that tree that's out front. It's just a great evening. And so we're looking forward to that. And then next Tuesday night, y'all been talking about this, is an evening with Phil Ponder.
Right.
We all know Phil Ponder, a great local artist, and we're going to celebrate Phil, his family, his work, and we're looking forward to that. And your guest was kind enough today to let me mention that at his luncheon, so I appreciate Mark doing that. Oh, I gave it away, didn't I? Oops. Oops, can't help it. And then finally, next Friday evening is the annual Hermitage Gala.
Oh,
And that's a great event, and a lot of your folks have been participants with me at that, and that's a fundraising event that supports the ongoing operation of Andrew Jackson's Hermitage. So we're glad of all of these events. Mark had mentioned about 12 months ago when events started happening again. He said that's a sign that we're getting back to normal, and so I think Mark nailed that about 12 months ago when he made that observation. That's it. Free checking. You want to talk about free checking?
gotta mention.
Okay, free checking, free checks, free online banking with bill pay, free ATM or debit card, wherever you go in the world. Susan and I have some travel coming up. By the way, Mark, Susan and I will be at your luncheon today. We look forward to being with you. But we use our ATM, debit card wherever we go, and it's completely free.
Yep. Well, there might be other free checking accounts, but I don't think anybody can touch yours, to be honest.
Well,
you got a great one.
We do. We're proud of it. It's the cornerstone of it's the cedar stone of our bank. How about that?
All right.
Not the cornerstone. Thanks, Coleman. Good to be with you.
See you next time. Bob McDonald, Chief Executive Officer, President, CEO, that's Chief Executive Officer, Cedar Stone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Julia, Donaldson, Simple Banking, Simply Better. And speaking of CEOs, Chief Encouragement Officer also fits that CEO thing, I believe. But anyway, Mark Hinesley, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. You sound great. Good to see you again.
Well, thanks. I hope I'm sounding satisfactorily anyway.
I think better than ever, personally.
Oh, well, let me say I appreciate you sitting in for me one of those Wednesdays when I was gone.
Hey, I love to do it. They said I had a face for radio. I didn't know exactly what that meant, but no, I enjoy doing it. It's nice to come over whenever I get the chance, and I always look forward to the third Wednesday at 7 o'clock to share a little bit about what's going on in Mount Juliet and Wilson County.
Well, I don't know. You always have plenty that you want to talk about. You kind of write down some talking points.
And
but
sometimes
you don't have to share them with me. I don't need them. I just, hey, Mark, take it away.
Well, I just kind of make it up as I go a little bit, but Bob mentioned 17 and a half years, 18 years ago, Cedar Stone. I remember when Cedar Stone, when they were forming that bank, and it was exciting because Bob said he wanted it to be Wilson County, have a good presence, and called me at the chamber and said, can you help me find some folks that might help guide this ship that from the west end of the county? And it's hard to believe it's been 18 years ago, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But when he was talking about the evening with Phil Ponder, I suppose the closer you get to Nashville, the more recognizable he is. But he's one of the most incredible men that I've personally ever met. I had the good fortune of his daughter Stephanie and her son Jay. They sent their kids to Holy Rosary in Donaldson, which is where my kids. So my kids have grown up with Phil's grandchildren, and so I've known Phil for going on 30 years. It seems like he and his wife Dot, and Phil. I guess the connection with the Mount Juliet Chamber, he has for many, many years done the Pledge of Allegiance at our monthly luncheon. Now, when you ask Mr. Ponder, would you lead us in the pledge, please? He doesn't stand up and say, face the flag and please join me, I pledge. I mean, he comes with a flag lesson, and people look forward to it. And he has brought historic flags that are 150 years old. He always talks about how the stars got there, what the stripes mean, who, usually clear back from the Revolutionary War. He's just such a wealth of knowledge. And a couple of months ago, he brought a lot of his paintings and talked about it. So those of you that have already got your ticket to that Phil Ponder event, you are in for a treat. He is a very, very special man, and let me tell you, if somebody else fills in for him at the monthly luncheon, the first thing they say is, I know. I'm not Phil Ponder, but I'm going to do my best. So you're in for a good treat. And this Friday night, I want to put a plug in for any service club out there that can hang around and make a difference for 100 years. Deserves a toast, and that's exactly what I think. It's the Lunch Rotary Club in Lebanon, turning 100 years old, and they're having their big event this Friday night at the Capitol Theater. And so hats off to them. And if you've ever done events, it's very, very difficult and time consuming. And you guys know who you are, and ladies, thank you for what you're doing. And the money will go to a great cause. But lots going on at the Chamber. And I'll mention this past weekend. We got time? We need to take a break?
Yeah,
I'll catch my breath and join you on the other side.
Just about that time. Let's do it. Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Bates Ford. That regular oil change, $24.95, up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, $16.73 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. I'm still looking at this crash here, and so is everybody else as they drive by. 65 southbound here at Trinity Lane. It's way over to the side. The traffic is crawling along down through here. There's also a crash that's been moved, and it's also slowing down that traffic, which is really heavy on 40 westbound in OHB as you come in from Wilson County out through Mount Juliet right now. That traffic on Belinda Parkway also getting busy. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar is home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. Log on to GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Hey, TP.
Yeah, JB?
You ready?
For Friday Night Lights, you better believe it. Join us on the Fakes and Hooker Scoreboard Show every Friday night after the Lebanon High football game. We'll have all the scores for you and even post-game interviews with all of your Wilson County coaches.
Thank you to our sponsors, Designers Carpet, Fakes and Hooker, Lebanon Appliance, Palometto's Insurance, Sammy B's Restaurant, and Kenny Salas and the hometown team with Keller Williams Realty.
It's the Fakes and Hooker Scoreboard Show with John Boyce and Trenton Perry, right here on WANT 98.9 FM.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tommy Bryan. Join me, Bob Lee, Terry Stafford, and Joe Gardner as we bring you Lebanon High football live every Friday night right here on WANT and WCOR throughout this 2021 season. The Blue Devils entertain the Gallatin Green Wave Friday, October 22nd. Don't forget Blue Devil football on WANT WCOR Lebanon.
A loaded offense.
Tannehill with the finger roll. Arthur, Juan, Brown carrying them.
A 2,000-yard king.
Derrick Henry to Peter.
And now, Julio Jones.
Touchdown, Titans.
Brought to you by Fakes and Hooker, Bates Ford, Steve Mall Plumbing, The Jewelers, and the City of Lebanon Gas and Tennessee 811. Call before you dig.
This is Wilson County's home for real country music and the Tennessee Titans. Real Country 98.9.
Coleman and Company here on a Wednesday morning. Mark Hinesley with the Mount Juliet to West Wilson Chamber of Commerce is here. He comes once a month. You've been doing this for over a year now.
I think it's going on 2. And I'm about ready to just make a lifetime commitment. I look forward to doing this, and thank you. You're generous to share some time with me.
Well, what else is on your mind this morning?
You know, you always wait for the 18th, 19th, 20th of the month to get the sales tax reports, and I got mine, I think, yesterday for Mount Juliet, and the streak continues. Sales tax collections year over year continue to be very strong, and there's a lot of things factor into that, but we continue to beat the drum of spend your money local. You can go to the boutiques and the small mom and pop businesses, and in most cases, their cargo's not stuck out in some dock ship port somewhere. They're ready to provide you with their goods and services, and
well, that's a good point.
It makes a difference.
Somebody has made that quite prominent on Facebook here in the last.
I know, and that's exactly right. And it
American products aren't stuck on a ship.
You got that right.
Unloaded.
Yeah, I saw probably the one that I'll share whenever I get the chance, and we've all heard it. Probably been guilty of saying it. Oh, if they don't figure this out, our Christmas is going to be ruined. And my wake-up call was when I saw somebody said, if your Christmas depends on ships out in the port, you might need to rethink what Christmas means to you. And that was okay, you're right. But and it's a good point. It's they'll probably figure it out, I guess. But it's kind of the perfect storm now. Wilson County farming, tractors, now tractor parts. I just heard on your station as I was pulling in on the news that tractors 50% more right now for a used tractor than it was a year ago.
Wow.
Now, I'm not very good at math, but I can imagine the price of food one of these days is going to reflect that. So start raising cattle and growing vegetables, right?
Maybe that's a good idea.
Hey, we've had a lot happen in the last month. I want to, I haven't had to thank him or congratulate him personally, but perhaps I'll see him at lunch today. But Scott McCarver, who has been the interim president at Vanderbilt University or Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital since perhaps April, is made it official as he's the president. Well, he probably didn't make it official. Whoever writes his check made it official, I guess.
Right.
But he's the new president, so congratulations. And something else that's coming up. I've had more birthdays than Mount Juliet. In fact, I tell people I've got a pair of work boots that I think might be older than Mount Juliet. I'm not 100% sure, but leave the historian, your next guest, to talk about that maybe. But Mount Juliet turns 50 years old next year. Of course, it's been around for a long time, but incorporated 1972. So look for your birthday party invitation in the mail. But we're working with the city, the chamber is. Their new public information officer, Justin Beasley, is probably going to run point on that. I think we envision a year-long celebration of different things going on each month, perhaps, just to give people even another reason to celebrate Mount Juliet, Wilson County. So happy birthday ahead of time to them.
Is it true that's just the only Mount Juliet in the world?
Yeah, I believe it is. We've got a couple of old-timers that they put it out there, if you believe what you see on social media, but there is a Mount Juliet, Ireland, and I don't know if it's incorporated, how they do that. I believe it's a 1,500-acre estate with perhaps a castle and maybe a golf course or something. I remember the first person that went over there and brought back pictures was, we all remember Hale Moss. Well, his wife, Brenda, brought back pictures, and that's been, I don't know, probably 20 years ago or more, I guess. But so while I've never been there, I believe there is a Mount Juliet, Ireland. In fact, for those of that are listening that play golf, I believe they played perhaps the Irish Invitational or a tournament in whatever town. They mentioned that golf course in Mount Juliet. So I think there may be another one. We need a sister city, don't we?
Yeah.
So, I'm not the biggest sports fan in the world, but it was hard last weekend not to take a little bit of time out and sit outside and watch the ball game. And, it's just those days are made for, even if you don't like football, you got to turn the football game on, right? But they were talking about the team and building a team. And, you get, the better your team is, the better recruits because they want to come and play and things like that. And I got to think of this is also the time of year when the Mount Juliet Chamber works on our future team, if you will. And this is the time of year we select and take nominations for board members. And I suppose you get good enough in any sport where you don't really have to go out and sell it. You have them knocking on your door, wanting to come, the best players. And every year it seems like we get better and better candidates. More people want to be on the leadership team at the Chamber of Commerce. And this year we had incredible nominees, people that everybody respects and knows step up and say, I'll donate my time, I'll serve, I'll share my time and talents and treasures with this organization. And we know what a compliment that is to the work that's been done by so many people. So I always get excited about this. It's looking at the future and seeing, okay, we'll be a little bit better tomorrow than we were today. And when good people like that get on board, it's probably the highest compliment that we can be paid.
How many are on your board?
We have a board made up of 15 volunteers, each serving a 3-year term. They can serve a second term, but after that they have to go away for a year and then they can come back. But what that affords us the opportunity to do is have 5 people roll off the board every year. So you never in any organization, I don't think, want to see too much turnover, lose your officers.
Complete turnover, that just totally lose continuity.
That's exactly right. You and if you have your systems and processes in place, and everybody kind of knows what the goal is, not everybody. You think about it. 3 years ago, if you said, "Okay, I'll serve on the board of the Lions Club or the Rotary Club or the Chamber or heck, your HOA for that matter," oh my, how things have changed in the last 3 years, and the things we've had to do, life changes, circumstances happen. You may not even live in the same district anymore, or whatever it is. So, but we always ask, hey, do you want to serve another 3-year term? We understand if they can't, but those folks then get renominated, and it's a very transparent, very successful process, and it's just I take so much. There's so much appreciation for people that say, "I'll serve," and especially when they're true leaders in their fields. And we're excited about that. We have a great luncheon coming up today, which we do every month on the third Wednesday. And today, the Economic Development Director for Amazon is going to be presenting today. Lots of people kind of wonder what goes on behind those walls at that nearly 4 million square foot building, and so we'll get a little insight into that. And then next month, on the third Wednesday, Wilson County School Director of Schools, Jeff, will give us a state of education, I guess, in Wilson County. So lots and lots of stuff going on. We have at least 2 ribbon cuttings a week. In fact, that's our limit. We could do more, but we just can't stretch our ambassadors and volunteers that thin. And sometimes there's 2 and 3 meetings or groups gathering at the chamber every single day. I'm sure Melanie is experiencing the same thing, and a lot of people stayed hunkered down inside, not really wanting to be around. Just seems like come about the middle of September to the 1st of October, I guess when they saw 68,000, 69,000 people at the Titans game and 100 and who knows how many thousand at a UT game, I guess I can go to that luncheon or whatever. So we're excited that folks are getting back out responsibly. But boy, we didn't get a chance to trickle into it. It's all of a sudden the floodgates open, and there's a lot of people that are scrambling. Our businesses too. You close your dining room. Sometimes you close certain days of the week, and then when you open, your customers are back to 100%, if you will, and your staff is at 30%.
Yeah.
And so if you're listening out there, don't fuss at the people that are working when you go in and it might be a little bit slow or whatever. We can fuss at the people that didn't show up that day, but give a break to those people that are working really hard for us. So,
and people are still hiring. You can get a job if you want.
Well, you know what? If it's 3% unemployment, and I remember Pat Lyle, the first director of the Chamber of JECDB back in the 90s or whatever, I remember one time he said, 5% of the people don't want to, at any given time, don't want to work anyway. So when you get below 5%, you're overemployed or whatever. So, Adina Chumley at Wilson Works is the speaker, I believe, next week at the quarterly JECDB board meeting. A lot of insight there, but there was a young lady named Marla Fry, perhaps, that was maybe the speaker at the last one, and talked about sort of an eye-opening, an awakening, if you will, of employees, and reevaluating them, what life means, work means, and maybe they don't want to go back to work. And so I think it's naive to think that, well, we'll just wait. This workforce that left is coming back. I'm thinking maybe they decided they're not coming back. And so we're all going to have to kind of figure out what that new workplace looks like. And businesses are going to have to be very creative. They're going to have to be very transparent. They're going to have to make sure their values line up with the employees that they're looking for. And it's going to affect probably every industry out there. But there are a lot of people that have been through a lot worse. We'll figure it out. I'd say we're figuring it out as we go. But
well, I got just sitting here listening to you this morning and just thinking, your finger is really on the pulse of Wilson County, and especially West Wilson.
You know, I was telling somebody yesterday, you could plant me anywhere else in the world and quadruple my pay at the Chamber of Commerce, and I wouldn't do it for one single day because it takes a long time for relationships to build them and maybe to find a little bit where the skeletons are buried, if you will. But in businesses or, you know, a lot of places, you can, if you own your own business, you can decide today that something's going to be different tomorrow, and it happens. And I'll give you a couple of perfect examples how it's the exact opposite of that in a chamber. I'm just carrying the banner for a little while. I carried it after Steve Sparks handed it to me, who got it from Betty Stevens. You can take a look upstairs at the Lebanon Chamber of Commerce, and they've got wall plastered with so many great people who have stepped in to carry the torch, and then they handed it off to the next person, and there's a tremendous responsibility that goes with that. But Wilson County, I mean, this is everything to me. I absolutely love it, and it's such a special place. And if you've been out and seen some other places, I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know. And in this world, the chamber world, and perhaps even Mayor Bell will agree, we've been talking about the Central Pike interchange for probably going on 20 years. We talked about a greenway along Division Street for 11 or 12 years. You got to get into this for the long haul. You can't just go in and say, okay, let's do that. It is, and it can be really frustrating when you work for 18 years in fast food and you're ready for, go, 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 go. And then suddenly a project can last 10 years. A stoplight, even when you have it all approved and everything, it can still be 2 years before the darn thing's flashing green and red. So, but I like that. And there's people who are in it for the long haul. It's not an industry that's good for short timers, and there's people that go out and climb the ladder. Hey, they'll take the next biggest one. But I'd be remiss too. It takes a lot of people pulling the wagon in the same direction, and people that step up and do little things like, well, big things, help fund our fundraising. Yeah. We do one fundraiser a year. It's the golf tournament. It was held on Thursday, October 7th at Pine Creek, and it was sold out back in June. People signed up right away. So thank you to our sponsors and our players, and good luck to the Lebanon Chamber and all the people that are making their golf tournament possible. They play at Pine Creek this coming Monday, and it wasn't just rained out. I swear I saw that lady on the bicycle, and the animals were lining up 2 by 2. That was a horrible storm that day. So good luck to all of you. I want to also say thank you to Cumberland University. Had the opportunity in your absence to talk to Rusty Richardson about Cordell Hull, who is, if you've watched very many black and white movies or paid any attention to history, he's an incredible man. And
well, the time has been incredible.
Oh my gosh, Coleman, I'm so sorry. I missed you, my friend.
Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next month.
I'm going to have to sit where I can see the clock.
That's part one of Coleman and Company. Keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Absolute Kubota Red Max. Complete inventory, weed eaters, blowers, hedge trimmers for the commercial user and homeowner with up to a 4-year warranty. 1506 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. People are still staring at this wreck as they drive by on 40 westbound. It's Central Pike. You got all this traffic trying to get in from Mount Juliet, Wilson County, coming down the interstate here. One lane is blocked. And again, it's starting to back up pretty good now on 40 westbound. As you come into Hermitage here at Central Pike, as everybody stares at this crash. Same goes for that earlier one that's still up there to the right-hand side on 65 South at Trinity Lane. Hey, Gatlinburg Wine Cellar is home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. Log on to GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
This is Philip Etherly with Absolute Rental and Supply. Whether it's cleaning, painting, remodeling, or simply getting better organized, we have the tools and equipment to get the job done. Scaffolding, paint sprayers, ladders, power saws, portable heaters, temporary lighting, generators, hardwood floor staplers, from wallpaper steamers to bulldozers, Absolute Rental has what you need. Call 615-443-RENT. Absolute Rental and Supply. We have what you need.
For 44 years, A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction has been the leader in residential real estate and auctions in Middle Tennessee. Did you know that we also have a team of agents that specialize in commercial real estate? No matter if it is a high-traffic spot or a quiet little corner, we have the local knowledge to deliver just what you are looking for. The A.G. & Johnson commercial team will know exactly what you need and will walk you through the development process. Our commercial agents know more. For commercial real estate done right, give us a call, 615-444-0909, or visit us online, agandjohnson.com.
Today's forecast calls for mostly sunny skies with temperatures topping out in the mid-70s. On Thursday, scattered rain showers will be moving through with highs climbing into the mid-70s once again. We do dry out on Friday. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. Let's look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist T.J. Scott.
And we continue. Welcome to part 2 of Coleman & Company here on a Wednesday morning. Time for us to talk about Absolute Rental and Supply, 1325 West Main in Lebanon. Jonathan Smith is with us this morning. We'll say that Philip Etherly is on special assignment. And Jonathan, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Coleman.
It's good to see you again. You've been there for a number of years, haven't you?
Yes, sir. Yep, about 9 years.
9 years. All right. Well, you've learned the ins and outs, and if you've worked for Philip for 9 years, you know what he likes and what he doesn't like, don't you?
Yes, sir. Yep. We try to please our customer and our boss.
There you go. Well, one of the things we always emphasize when we talk about Absolute Rental is their phone number, and that's the way that you can go to the website, and you really should, absoluterental.com, and see what's available, and you get the price of it there for 4 hours a day or maybe other times. But to get it, you call 615-443-RENT, R-E-N-T, 443-RENT, and make your reservation. And Jonathan, I guess you'd agree with me that if you're needing something today, that's okay, but it would have been better for you to ask for it last week. You get your name in the pot early, and then you have a better chance of getting it when you want it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we do reservations. We tell everybody always try to reserve things a week prior to needing it. A lot of the items we can work in within a 3-day period. We offer delivery on all equipment. We also offer delivery on mulch, rock, gravel, pine straw, regular straw, erosion control blankets, stuff like that. And we also sell propane there.
Propane?
Yes, sir.
All right, we hadn't mentioned that very much. I may need to write that on my sheet here.
Yep.
But I think that this has been the time for a lot of maybe landscaping work, yard work, seeding, this kind of thing. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yep, we do have seed. We've got Tall Fescue Turfex. It's a great product. And then we've got a contractor's blend, and we've got some fertilizers. We also have erosion blanket, which is for when you put your seed down to lay over it. We've just got anything to really spruce up your yard to get it going the way you want it going. We also got mulch, stuff like that. So people are right now trying to get their property looking good before we go into the winter months.
Well, I understand too. A lot of people may know a little bit about this, but maybe not enough. And you've got some experts there, that some people who can provide instruction, information on maybe the best way to get the job done, and the equipment and the seed and the other things that might be needed to do it.
Yes, sir. We've got a very knowledgeable staff. Dave and Eric and Josh, all the guys that work on the counter, they really know our product in and out. And they can give you great recommendations of what to do. We actually have a sheet that you can go buy for like monthly for Bermuda or for the Tall Fescue. And if you'll follow the guidelines that the sheet says, you'll have a great looking yard.
Well, we kind of talk about the middle of September to the middle of October, but it's been warm up till now, and I would think that we've maybe got at least a couple more weeks, maybe 2 or 3 more weeks to get this done.
Right, and that's what we've been renting the fire out of aerators. A lot of people do aeration, and this is a prime time to do it. And then
that's those little things that pull up plugs in the dirt, don't
we've got the plug style, we've got walk behinds, we've got ride-ons, and we've also got stand on, which is more of like a commercial line. But we do rent them to homeowners. They're pretty booked up right now, but if you'd like to get one, like I said, call 5 days prior, and we try our best to get you on it.
All right, anything else you want to mention this morning? We talked about from wallpaper steamers to bulldozers, and you've got just about everything there.
Right. I just want to let Wilson County know we appreciate everyone supporting our local business. That means a lot to us, and just want to say thank you to all of our customers.
All right, AbsoluteRental.com and the phone number 615-443-RENT. And Jonathan Smith, thanks for being with us today.
It's good seeing him this morning.
All right, okay. We're about 21 before the hour, and Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell joins us, as he does after each city council meeting, and maybe other times when needed. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. It's good to see you.
In
It's been
fact,
a while.
I think Sarah Haston had you out when I was on vacation. I didn't get to hear that one. I'm sorry I missed it, but
well, she did. I was on here with Sarah, and then I was also on here with a couple of judges as well. So while you were gone, but I'll tell you this, you had some great guest hosts while you were gone, but this is called Coleman and Company for a reason. So,
well, thank you very much. Are you a baseball fan?
I not really. I probably haven't watched a Major League Baseball game in years. I'm a Cumberland baseball fan.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say both the good guy teams lost last night. The Dodgers, no way I think they should have won that one, but they did. And then Boston lost their steam, and Houston, I don't know. In fact, when it got 7-2 or something like that, I just turned it off and went to bed. I don't know what the final score was.
Well, I tell you, talking about the Red Sox, the closest I ever came to a Boston Red Sox game was several years ago. My wife Nicole took her daughter Isabella up to Boston for a student conference, and I got them tickets to Fenway Park. So they got to go to Fenway Park, and I got a cap. So that's as close as I've ever gotten to that. But I apologize. My voice is a little hoarse today. I was at a football game Saturday night that went a little crazy. So my voice is gone.
Yeah, well, it did. And I watched that till the very finish. And Tennessee could have won that game.
Oh, very well. They could have won that game. They could have won the Pittsburgh game earlier in the year, and but they're getting better. I really believe that. And
well, I'm sorry their quarterback got hurt, and that could have been a part of that might have had to do with if that other quarterback got hurt, had been in there.
That's true.
They might have won.
They should. That's true. If he hadn't got hurt, and he's played well this year, I hate to see anybody get hurt.
Yeah.
On anything.
Well, there was an
really.
awful lot getting. Were some of them fake? Yeah, I mean, you don't know for sure.
Well, being in the stadium at the time, I felt like some of those were fake, and there's a lot of people in town who are Ole Miss fans. Went to Ole Miss. Our daughter goes to Ole Miss, and I really don't see how they're going to be able to field a team going forward since all the defensive players got hurt. But I'm sure they'll be okay.
Okay, we'll let it go at that. I hope we can get around to talking about redistricting before the morning is over.
Absolutely, we can do that.
But what was anything really big items on the agenda last night?
Yeah, there are a few things. It was a short agenda. We've had several of those here lately, but a couple of things happened I do want to talk about. We have a thing called the Sidewalk, Bike, and Trail Committee, which is a committee of citizens. And last night I appointed Connie Bone to serve on that as one of the members. So I really appreciate her doing that and volunteering. And then we also have the Joint Economic Community and Development Board that I just heard Mark mention as well. And two of our counselors serve on that board along with me. And Chris Crowell has served on that for a while, and Camille Burdine has as well. Well, Camille's time was up, so the council need to appoint someone else, and Camille agreed to serve again. So we got that done last night, and the JECDB is very important as far as recruiting businesses into our county and industry and things like that. So I appreciate her doing that. And then also, I think probably the biggest thing on the agenda last night was we started the process of inspecting some of our bridges here in town. There's about 7 bridges that have been identified by our staff that probably need to be looked at. So we agreed last night to get a consultant to come in here and do that. Counselor Fred Burton asked, why are we hiring a consultant? Can our own engineers do that? But bridge is our specialty in the engineering world. So you really need someone who understands those and can look at those. So,
well, wouldn't you think the quality of the inspection has a lot to do with this?
It does.
Somebody that doesn't do this on a regular basis might not see
Absolutely.
some structure damage that a quote unquote expert
Absolutely,
would.
because if you or I went to a bridge or any of our engineers and we see some concrete that's cracked and we may think, hey, that needs maybe a problem. It may not be a problem. It may be just a crack in the concrete. So, bridge work is a specialty. You need someone who does it all the time, who understands it and can really focus on it. So last night the council, approved the process of getting a consultant to look at some of those. And I apologize, I didn't bring a list of the bridges, but I know the Gay Street Bridge is high on that list right there just off the square, and there are 6 others around town. So, that's important. People drive over bridges all the time.
So this is just going to be an inspection of those 7?
Yeah, it's an inspection of those 7, and of course they'll come back with a report, and they may come back and say they're fine, or they could come back and say some work needs to be done. So, we won't know till we get there, but our staff felt like it was time to do that.
Well, hopefully the one across from Sellers Funeral Home is not one of those 7.
I'll find out. I'll let you know next time.
Well, there's been all kind of work done there.
Yeah, actually, I think Jeff Baines is going to be out here in the morning, so I'll make sure he has that list for you.
Okay. It's time for us to take a break. Mayor Rick Bell is with us. We've got a lot more to talk about, so keep it here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford, get $50 off, $250 repair offer to owners of 4 to 10-year-old Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury vehicles. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now in traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. All lanes are back open on 40 westbound at Central Pike. That traffic's moving a lot better than it was a few minutes ago. Coming in from Wilson County there through Mount Julia. Again, that wreck is over to the side, 40 west. There in Hermitage at Central Pike. Donaldson Pike near the interstate. We saw him working a wreck a few minutes ago. Oktoberfest in Ober-Gatlinburg going on now through the end of the month. Check it out at obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
This is Bob McDonald with Cedar Stone Bank. For 17 years now, we've been serving our communities in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Donaldson. We can serve you in the way that best fits your needs. We have all the banking technology, we have beautiful buildings, but more importantly, we have great people. On behalf of our board of directors, I thank you for banking with us. If you don't currently bank with us, please come by and visit us in any of our locations. It would be our pleasure to talk with you about how simple banking is simply better.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
The Pavilion Senior Living residents are inviting you to become their new neighbor. If you're looking for a sign to move, call us at 444-5556 to learn more about the details. Or go to thepavilionseniorliving.com for more information. Or better yet, just drop by 1408 Medical Center Drive right behind Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital and see for yourself. You should move here.
Hi, everybody. This is Tommy Bryan, and along with my color commentator, Bob Lee, we'll be bringing you Cumberland University football right here on WANT and WCOR. Saturday, October 23rd, Cumberland will host Bethel University. Cumberland football right here on WANT and WCOR Lebanon.
Coleman & Company, thanks for joining us. Our final segment here for a Wednesday. Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell is here. You know, it's been a long time since I called you Jack.
Well, I'm glad. That's good. That's good.
For those who don't know, he has an older brother named Jack that I knew before I knew Rick. But anyway, we're accustomed to it, and I think most people, Mayor Rick, they know who we're talking about now.
Well, you know, that's you know, being mayor it's been a privilege. I've been doing it for 10 months now, and we're busy. It's hard work, but I enjoy it. You know, and I really appreciate my family support too.
Yeah.
You know, not just my brother, but you know, my wife and my parents and everybody, and you know, because this takes a big support system, you know, from them, and I appreciate everything they've done for me through this process.
I know you've got a number of notes here, and I doubt we've scratched the surface so far. We better get going.
Well, there's just a few things here. You know, one, last night, Counselor Jenny Brinkman, she asked about the TDOT project there in front of Kroger that just keeps going and going and going. You know, the last report we had was it was going to be finished by the end of October, and I don't think it will. So, you know, this has really been a mess. Our traffic engineer, Kristen Rice, she's been talking to TDOT constantly. I've talked to the TDOT commissioner. I was just on the phone with Jeff Baines before I came into the studio, and he's on call down there today. And you know, it's something they need to get finished. And you know, and you know, we're all tired of it. It's going to be great, you know, when it's finished. And I appreciate their investment in the city, but you know, it's time for this thing to get done. And so you know, TDOT's in charge of it. You know, people call us a lot. It's not our project, so we don't have any control over it. But we are just as frustrated as everybody else is.
Yeah.
So you know, that's something that's out there. One other thing I do want to talk about is this. You know, tomorrow night is the Taste of Wilson County, and that's going to be on the lawn in front of the Mitchell House. It's going to be outdoors from 5:30 to 8, and it turns out I'm supposed to cook. Apparently, that's the tradition. So. This afternoon, I'm going to go pick up the steak, and me and some of the other mayors and some other local leaders, we're going to have a little cook-off. And so I'm looking forward to that. And they're going to have some celebrities there. Blaine Bishop, he's played for the Titans. He's going to come be a taster for some contests. And Nick Barris from Channel 5 and Brad Major, who is a local foodie. He's going to be there. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So everybody come on out to that. That's for a good cause. They're going to raise money for education. So
it really is a good cause.
Yeah.
These teacher grants that it provides the money for. And we won't get into that, but it goes a long way to further education.
Oh, it really does. I mean, it's for the teachers and the students, and it's a great event. And I've been to it before, and I've ate some of the food, and tomorrow night I'm going to cook some of the food. So we'll see how that goes. And then the other night, there was also a great event at Don Fox Park. It was National Night Out for our first responders and the Lebanon Police, Lebanon Fire, our Codes Department, our Animal Control. They were out there with other agencies, and it was a big crowd. You know, there was free food, and there was a lot of kids out there climbing on equipment, and you know, and it was just a great event. I really enjoyed it, and you know, we have that every year, and I hope people can come out next year.
Well, P.J. Hardy is kind of the MC for it, isn't it? And he, I think, does a really good job on that.
Yeah, PJ does great. You know, he's good at that, and he's sort of the face of the Lebanon Police Department, and he's always has a microphone in his hand or a camera in front of him. So he's really good at that.
Well, that is a success every year.
It really is. It really is. And
I guess depending on the weather a little bit, but that would have been a good night.
It was a good night. And actually, they delayed it. It was supposed to be the week before, and rain stopped it. So, and then one event that we have coming up next year, this is a ways off, but we're actually meeting about today is Kathleen Vale, who oversees our Lebanon Museum. She's created Lebanon History Day. And what's going to happen are kids in the Lebanon Special School District are going to have one day where they tour all the museums in town. Our museum at City Hall, the Lebanon History Museum, the Veterans Museum, and there are several places around town they're going to hit. And she's organized that. And we're having a meeting this afternoon to really, you know, start working on it. And you know, that's a great idea by Kathleen, and she's doing a great job. And so that's something that we'll talk about a lot over the upcoming months.
That would have been something when I was elementary school. I think I would have loved.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, when I was in elementary school, I actually went to school in an old building. I went to McLean School, so so we didn't have air conditioning. So that was that was pretty historic in itself. So
I understand that there's been some talk about with the redistricting coming up and whether or not to maybe add a member to the city council, and that maybe is we're going to keep it at 6.
Yeah, well, we've had a couple work sessions over it. Of course, we had the census this year or last year, and this is time that all levels of government redistrict, and so we've been working on that.
Each district has to be about the same number.
Yeah, you have to even them out, and I can tell you right now, they are not even at all. I mean, they are completely out of sorts as far as how many each council represents. And Kevin Cross, who's part of our GRS teams, he's worked really hard. He's the one who's actually been drawing the lines. And it's complicated. I've watched him work. He takes those census numbers, they do it by block, and he has to break it down. And, it's not as easy as you might think. But he's worked on it very hard. And we had one work session, and some of the counselors talked about maybe we should add an at-large seat, or maybe we should add a couple of council seats to kind of, break down the wards. And we had another work session last week, and we showed them a new map of 6 wards, which we have now. And the counselors seemed pleased with that. They thought that was a good plan. So it looks like right now we're going to stick with 6.
Well, we got to keep it an even number so the mayor can break a tire.
We have to keep it even. That's true. And
I'm being facetious.
But that is true, and that's one of the things that going into this, I want to keep our tradition intact, and that is the tradition. But the last work session, 6, they all looked at the new lines, thought 6 was good. And so we plan on having that on the agenda the first time in the first meeting in November to get them to approve, and then send that on to Philip Warren at the Election Commission to get certified. So it's something we have to have done before the end of the year. Yeah.
Well, this is just one redistricting. There's redistricting going on all over.
Well, you have the counties doing theirs, and then, of course, the state legislature and the state senate's doing theirs, and then up in Washington, you have Congress, the House of Representatives, right. They're getting theirs redone by the state legislature. So, this hits all levels of government. It hits every 10 years. And one of the things we discussed was that, the counselors talked about how we know that there's going to be growth coming up. There's been things approved, in the past several years. They're not built yet. And they say, can we count those? We said, no, we can't. We have to count on what we have now. You can't count on potential. You have to count on the number. So, I think in a couple years, I'm not sure when, I think we need to do another special census to really get an accurate update of where we are. Because frankly, I think this census is a little light. It says we have just short of 39,000 people. I don't really think that's accurate. I think we have around 40,000. So, we need to, I think in a few years, we need to recount this.
What, if we covered everything on your list?
Well, there's a couple of things here. I want to thank Stuart Lawson, for our finance director, for all the work he did on the budget. We got a certificate from the state comptroller talking about how good a job we did getting the budget in on time. And so I appreciate the work he did and his staff, for getting that done, because that's some difficult work. And we have a little bit of a food theme today. We talked about the Taste of Wilson, but a couple of things. This Friday, we're having employee appreciation lunch. It's something I came up with a few months ago. Our employees work hard for the citizens. I feel like having a little cookout for them this Friday was something where we could show our appreciation. So we're doing that. And then also today, Channel 2 News is supplying lunch for our street department, thanking them for going down to Waverly and helping work down there. So, and I think that's something they're doing for every city that went to Waverly, but they're coming here today, and I know our guys really appreciate that. So it seems like, we're talking about a lot of food this week, but those are things that are coming up that, that are, I think, important.
We haven't totally transitioned, but already the mornings are a little bit cooler, and you think about wintertime coming on. Any special planning that's done ahead of time? I don't know whether you look at the Farmer's Almanac or the Weather Channel or what, but and what you always wonder, is it going to be a rough winter? Are we going to get how many times we're going to have to get the snow plows?
Well, I have looked at the Farmer's Almanac in the past. I've bought a few in my lifetime, and because I like reading them, I think they're interesting, and but I haven't this time. But we're always prepared. Lee Clark, who runs the street department, he has plenty of sand and salt for the streets, and that's something we think ahead of all the time to make sure that we have plenty of supply. And of course, last year we used up a lot, so he's been replenishing his supply of that, and it's just like everything else. You have to be prepared. You have to be proactive instead of reactive. You can't wait for something to happen and then try to be ready for it. And Lee's always been good at that, and he's ready for winter. And it's just like, we have 2,500 sandbags now for, in case we have some water issues again, have flooding. So, it's something that, everybody at the city is really good at looking ahead, being proactive, and we're proactive coming the wintertime too. You're right. When I came in today, it was a little cooler outside, and that time of year is coming, but I think we'll be prepared.
All right, we won't get into the UT Alabama game this week. But
well, I'll be there, so.
And we hope you'll be back at the next appointed time, and I'm sure you will. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell. That's it for a Wednesday. Join us tomorrow. Till then, I wish you a wonderful